Yeah, guys, in the last session, we started our discussion related to what is logging, why we need to go for logging, and what are the logging frameworks are available, and what are the tools available to monitor our log messages, and what is our logging architecture, what are the levels available, and what is the level hierarchy, and how to implement logging in our project, and what is role based logging we discussed. Fine. So can you tell me what is logging? What is logging? Logging is the process of storing application execution details to a file. Now, we are developing the application. That application will be deployed to some other server. When the application is executing, we need to understand what is the execution flow of the application and what are the exceptions that are occurring in the application. To identify the execution flow of the project, to identify exceptions occurring in the project, we will implement logging in our project. That means whenever application is running, our application should generate a log file. Our application should generate a log file. In that log file, our application should store some data. What method is executed, what class is executed, that information our application will store into log file. In this project, we need to implement logging. So the process of storing execution details to the log file is called as logging. So to perform this logging, there are several frameworks are available. In the Spring Boot, what is the default framework? In the Spring Boot, the default framework is logback. Spring Boot will use logback to generate the log messages. Those log messages we can store into log file. Once the messages are stored into log file, we can use several tools to get the data from the log file. If a log file is available in our machine, we can directly open and we can see the content. But in the real time, application will run in another computer, log file will be generated in some other computer. Now we need to get the data from the log file. For that, some people will go for putty, some people will go for WinSCP, some people will go for ELK, and some people will go for Splunk. So these are different softwares that are available in the market. So now by using this putty, we can connect with the log file. By using WinSCP, we can connect with the log file. By using ELK also, we can connect with the log file. By using Splunk also, we can connect with the log file. So project will decide which software we need to use to connect with the log file and get the data from the log file. In the MNC companies, people will go for Splunk. It is a commercial software. By using that Splunk, we will get the logs of our application. We will understand what are the problems in the application and what is the execution flow of the application. So as a developer, we should know how to perform logging and how to monitor log file. So to monitor log file, there are several tools available. Project will generate the log messages to a log file. Whenever there is a problem, we will use any one of the tool. We will connect it to the log file and we will monitor the data and we will understand the problem and we will fix that problem. Good. So in order to implement logging, we need to understand logging architecture. So do you know what is logging architecture? Right. In the logging architecture, we will see logger, layout, appender. What is the meaning of a logger? Logger is a class which is used to generate the log messages based on the levels. Info level, debug level, warn level, error level. Like that, in the logger class, there are methods available. By using those methods, we can generate the log messages. Then what is this layout? Layout will represent structure of the log message. What information we need to include in the log message will be represented by layout. Then appender is available. What is appender? Appender is used to write the message to the destination. What is the default appender in the Spring Boot? It is a console appender Our log message will be stored to console. Suppose if I want my messages to store it in the file, then we need to use file appender. If I use only file appender, always it will write the messages to the same file. But in the real time, we will go for file appender or we will go for rolling file appender. We need to go for rolling file appender. What is the meaning of rolling file appender? Based on the time or based on the size, new log file should be created. Right. Fine. Next one. When we are generating the logs, we need to remember the levels of the log. What are the levels available? Trace, debug, info, warn, error, fatal. Here there is a hierarchy for the level, guys. Whenever we set one log level, from that level, all the higher levels will be printed. If I set the level as info, then what will happen? Info will be printed, warn will print, error will print, fatal also will print. Info, warn, error, fatal, like that there are several levels are available. Are you getting my point here? Good. Now here, when you are using the Spring Boot, in the Spring Boot there is a default level as info and the default appender is console appender. If you want to make a change to the level or if you want to use the file, you can configure logging dot level dot root is equal to debug. What is the meaning of that? For entire project, I want to set the log level as a debug. Okay. Now let me create one Java Spring Boot application. File, new, Spring Starter project. So let me create Spring Boot logging application. Yesterday project I have deleted. I'm creating a new project, Spring Boot logging application. Okay. Now for this project, I want to use Maven, Java 11 I want to use, and base package I'm giving in.Ashok IT. Group ID also we can give like this. I'm creating one new Spring Boot application, and in this project I'm using Maven as a build tool. Java 11 I'm using. Good. Click on next. Spring Boot version, current version 3.x. For that, Java 17 is mandatory. I'm going with 2.7.10. This is the Spring Boot version I'm using. Here I'm using dependencies. One is DevTools. Now, sir, what is this DevTools dependency? Whenever you make some code changes in the project, server will restart automatically. You no need to stop and start the server for every code change. When I'm doing the development, several times I will make my code changes. Whenever I made a code changes, I want my server to reload the changes. I want my server to restart. For that, we will use a dependency called DevTools. Then along with that, I want to create web application. To create a web application, we need to go for Spring Web Starter. When you go for web application, it will provide RESTful application development as well as MVC development as well as a Tomcat as a container. Okay. If you add web dependency, you will get all the support to develop web application. Am I selecting any dependency related to logging? No, I'm not selecting. Click on next and click on finish. So with this, our Spring Boot application is getting created. In this Spring Boot application, we have added two dependencies, Web Starter and DevTools. What is the purpose of DevTools? What is the purpose of DevTools? It is used to restart the server when we make some code changes. So here we have a Web Starter and here we have DevTools, and by default the test is coming. Okay. Now let me go for my class. There is a start class available. We know what is the start class in the Spring Boot. Run as boot application. So when I run this boot application, you can see the log messages are generating on the console. Why these log messages are generating on the console? By default, the level is info and the appender is a console appender. That's why the log messages are generating on the console. Now, I want to create one REST controller. You know how to create a REST controller. New class REST controller. Okay. message REST controller. Now let me keep this inside a package called REST package. Click on finish. To represent our class as a REST controller, we will go for @REST controller annotation. @REST controller annotation. Still it is downloading the dependency. Yes. Now can you see when I make my code change, my server is restarted. Why server is getting restarted? Because we are having dev tools. As we are having the dev tools, our server is getting restarted. Okay, then go here. Let me write one method, public string get welcome message. Now here I want to write one message, string message, something like this. Now in this message, in this method, I want to implement logging, guys. In this method, I want to implement some logging, right? To implement a logging, first we need to get the logger object. Do you know how to get the logger? Come on, how to get the logger? Logger is equal to logger factory dot get logger. For the class, what is our class? Our class is message REST controller dot class. Okay. Now let me import the package. Which package I am importing? SLF4j package I am importing. Let me keep it as a private. Okay. So this is a logger object I am creating. By using logger factory dot get logger, I am getting my logger object. Now I want to generate a log message. How can we do that? Logger.info. What is the default level? Logger.info. This is welcome message info method. Or I can say welcome message started. Welcome message started. And similarly, welcome message ended. Before the return statement, I am writing this because after the return statement, we can't execute any code. Okay. Before the return statement, I am writing this. And similarly, here I'm going to write one more thing, logger.info. In this I'm writing warn method, logger.warn. What is this? This is warning from welcome message. This is warning from welcome message. And here I will write logger.error. Now if there is an exception in our method, then I want to execute error, catch exception E. Okay. Now here I will write integer I is equal to 10 by 0. Now I want to write a exception log also. Now how to write the exception log? Logger dot error, and I will say exception occurred. What is the exception occurred? What is the reason for that? E dot get message. Like this, I'm implementing logging in my class. Whenever this method is executed, loggers will be executed. Now I am going to write here logger dot debug. Okay, this is debug message from welcome method. This is debug message from welcome method. I'm writing debug message, I'm writing info message, I'm writing warn message, and I'm writing error, and I'm writing info. This is my method. In this method, I am having logging. Now, here my business logic is available and my secondary logic also available. What is the secondary logic here? Logger we are using as a secondary logic. Now here I want to run my application, refresh and run my project. Okay, right click, run as boot application. When I run this project, it is running in the local machine. Go to browser, let me make a request, localhost colon 8080. Did I map to URL pattern? No. I need to map this to a URL pattern, @get mapping of slash. I'm not giving any extra thing, base path only I'm giving. Now, can you see when I make the code change, server is restarted or not? Why server is restarted? Because of dev tools. So whenever you add a dev tools, you no need to stop and start the server every time. My server is restarted, localhost colon 8080. I'm able to access my message. Go to the console, and can you see here welcome message is started, info message, warning message, exception, welcome message ended. So what are the log levels are printed? Info printed, warn printed, error printed. What about this debug? Debug is not printed. Why debug is not printed? Because the default level is info. From the info, all the higher levels will be printed. Now, from the info, warn is printed, error is printed, info also printed. Currently, where is my project running? In my machine only. My project is running in my machine. Now, log file is created or log file is not created? Log file is not created. Why the log file is not created? Why the log file is not created? It is running in my machine. Default appender is a console appender. Logs are printed on the console. Now I want to customize my logging. I want to customize my logging. In two ways we can do that. One is by using properties file. Here we are having application.properties file. In this properties file, you can set what file you want to create for the logging, what level you want to use, what rolling policy you want to use. You can configure in the application.properties file. That is one approach. And the second approach, instead of using these properties, we can add one XML. That XML is called logback.xml. Now here, how to set that logback.xml? Here I have given one XML file. Not this. Yeah. So there is one XML file that is a logback.xml. So this is the XML configuration. In this XML configuration, we are going to specify. So what is the appender? What is the appender? What is appender? Console appender. I want to print messages on the console and I want to go for file appender also. And what is the pattern of the message? This is the pattern. This is called layout pattern. I want to print the thread details. I want to print level details. I want to print logger. I want to print the message. After message is printed, I want to go for the next line. Here n represents next line. Message represents our log message. Logger represents which class is generating that log message, at what level that message is printed, which thread is executing in our code, and the date I want to print. Like this we can set the pattern for the log message. And here what I am giving, size and time based rolling policy I am giving. So maximum file size is 1 MB. Then max history I am giving as 30. Max total size cap I am giving as 10 MB. Clean history and start is equal to true. Like this we are specifying our log back configuration. I am writing appender. Now let me come one by one. So here if I close it, now if you see how many appenders are available now? How many appenders are available now in my configuration? Two appenders are available. See here, this is my logging configuration. The XML file will have root element as a configuration. Inside that configuration, we need to specify what appender you want to use and what rolling policy you want to use, what level you want to use. That everything we can configure in the logback.xml. What is the root element in the logback.xml? Configuration is the root element. When I expand the configuration, three things are available. There are one appender is related to console appender. Another appender is related to rolling file appender. What is the purpose of console appender? It is a predefined class, logback.core console appender. It is not a Spring Boot class. It is a logback class, right? Now I am using console appender. What is the meaning of this console appender? Right, I want to generate the messages to the console. What is the meaning of this file appender, rolling file appender? I want to create the multiple log files based on the rolling policy. What is the difference between file appender and rolling file appender? What is the difference between file appender and rolling file appender? File appender will create only one file for all the messages. Rolling file appender means it will create based on the policy. Now let me go for console appender. In the console appender, what I am specifying here? Pattern. What is the meaning of a pattern? Layout. In which format you want to print that log message, we can specify. Percentile D represents I want to print to date first. I want to print the date first. So if you run your application in the console, let me run this project once again. When I run this application as a boot application in the console, what is printing first? Date is printing. How to represent that date? Percentile of D. Now I want to print the thread. By default, which thread will execute in our application? Main thread will be executed. I want to print that thread information. Level. At what level your log message generated? Which level is that? It is info message, or is it warning message, or is it a error message? When I execute now, can you see here what levels it is printing? This message printing at the info level, and this message is printing at the error level. I want to print the level also in the message. To print the level also in the message, I am giving percentile of level. Okay. Then percentage 50 logger. I want to print the logger. Logger means which class is printing that logger. What is the name of the class? After the logger, I want to print the message. Okay. What is the message? Log message. I want to print it. After printing the log message, go for the next line for the next message. For that I am giving percentile n. So this is how we are going to specify layout. Layout, right? The pattern of the message will be represented. When the message is storing to the console, I want to print a pattern like this. Okay, guys. Then after, I want to go for another appender. Close the file appender. Close the console appender. Now I want to go for file appender. When I go for the file appender, what is the file name I want? My app.log I want to give as a file name. Then for that file, it is a rolling file appender. With this name, the file should be created. Then for that, I need to give the pattern. So here, for console appender, we are giving the pattern. Similarly, for file appender also, we are giving the pattern. What is the meaning of that pattern? Layout. In which format you want to print the message to the log file. Then rolling policy. What is the meaning of rolling policy? Based on which scenario new log file should be created. When the new log file should be created in our application, that depends on the policy. Size and time based rolling, both I am using. Size based policy and time based policy also I am giving. That is a predefined class. In the rolling policy, we are specifying pattern. What is the name? My log file name should be myapp.log. When the new file is created, it has to create that with the date. And what date that file is created, in that file name, date also should come. In that file name, date also should come. What is the max file size? 1 MB. After the file reaches to 1 MB, I want to create a new file. What is the max history? Total last 30 days files it has to maintain. When the 31 file is created, first file will be deleted. When the 32 file is created, second file will be deleted. And total size cap, either last 30 files it has to maintain, and the total size cap 10 MB of data I want to maintain in the directory. Okay. And clean history and start. What is the meaning of clean history and start? Whenever the application restarted, previous log files will be deleted. Then root level is equal to info. What is the meaning of root level info? I want to set up on which level my logs should be generated. Info. This level should be applicable for which appender? This should be applicable for console appender as well as it should applicable for file appender. Do you need to butify this file? Even I can't write that file directly without looking at that. We can get it from the Google and we will paste it. Will anybody remember how to write that file? Is it really required to by heart that? No. We need to remember we need one appender. For that appender, we need to configure policy and we need to set the level. That level should be applicable for which appender? We need to configure that by using root level as info, appender reference. For console appender, for the file appender, info level should be applicable. Now, we need to copy this XML and we need to keep that XML in our project. Where we will create that XML in our project? In the resources folder, we are going to create one file. If you don't have XML file option, create the file, give the extension as a .xml. Now, let me go here, keep the file name. I'm keeping the file name as logback.xml. That is the default name it will consider. I'm using the file name as logback.xml. Click on next and click on next and click on finish. So with this, my XML file is created. Go to the source. Currently, nothing is available in the XML. Now, take this XML configuration, copy this and keep it. Okay, sorry. Right. So like this, I'm keeping my XML. Before that, let me write prologue of the XML. Yeah, that is called prologue of the XML, and I'm specifying my logback configuration. Done. Let me refresh my project. Refresh, clear the console. Guys, observe, in my project, do I have any log file? Do I have any log file in my project? Currently, log file is not available in my project. Now let me run this project, run as boot application. I'm starting my project. Now, pattern got changed. Earlier, date printed, time printed. Now, info messages are available. And after this, it is printing my log messages also. Clear the console. Go here, refresh our project. Can you see here? Our log file is created or not? myapp.log file is created. Send a request for our application, localhost colon 8080. Send the request, send the request. Fine. I'm sending the request for my application. Refresh our project. My log file is generated. Okay. So here my logs are available. At what level the log is printed, I can see all my messages which are printed in the log file. Okay, currently my project is running in the local. Okay, that's fine. My project running in the local, the log file will be created in the local. I can go to my workspace and I can see what is the log file available. I can open this log file, I can see the problem. But tomorrow, project will run in our local machine, project will run in the servers, project will run in the local, or project will run in the server. Projects will run in the server. Where that server will be available? Maybe a different machine or maybe a cloud platform. Our projects will run inside a server. Okay. Now assume that my project is running inside a server. Now I want to see my project log messages. I'm in Hyderabad. My server is in the US. I'm in Hyderabad. My server is in the US. Now, how to connect to our server to get the log messages? Now here, this log file will be created inside one machine. Application is running in one machine, right? So application is running inside one machine and that log file is generating in the another machine. This is application server machine, app server, and this is called as log server. Are you guys clear now? So there are two computers available. In one computer, application is running. In another computer, my log file is created. Why they are creating the log file in the different computer? They cannot give the access for the application server computer. If I get the access for application server, I may stop the application. If I stop the application, what will happen? Business loss. So for us, server access will not be available. What they will do is, they will generate our log file into another computer. In that computer, only log file will be available. In that computer, only log file will be available. Now, this computer will have one IP address. This computer will have one IP address, 192.168.1.1, something like that. IP address is available for the computer. and there is a username for the computer, something like log user, and password for that computer log@123. These are called as credentials of the log server. These are called credentials of the log server. What is the meaning of log server? What is the meaning of log server? The log file is available in our log server. So they will provide you credentials for the log server. What credentials they will provide? IP address of that computer, username of that computer, password of that computer. In that computer, log file will be available. Now, we need to connect to that computer and we need to check the log file. The computer which contain the log file will be Linux computer. In the real time, projects will be deployed on the Linux machine. Our project will be deployed on the Linux machine. We need to connect to the Linux machine. To connect to the Linux machine, here I am using Windows computer. We will get the laptop from the company. In our laptop, Windows OS will be available. Are you guys getting my point? In our system, Windows OS will be available. By using this Windows OS, I need to connect to the Linux machine. Where is that Linux machine? In the US. My project client is US based client. My servers are running in the US. My log server also in the US. The log file is created in the Linux machine. That Linux machine available in the US. I'm sitting in Hyderabad. From my Windows computer, I want to connect with the Linux computer. To connect from the Windows computer to Linux computer, we will go for Putty. What is that software? Putty. Putty software we are going to use to connect from the Windows computer to Linux computer. Putty is a CLI based software. Putty is a CLI based software. WinSCP is a GUI based software. ELK is also GUI based software. Splunk is also GUI based software. Only Putty is a CLI based software. Remaining all are GUI based software. Are you guys clear? Now wait. I will show you. You may not understand today what I am doing, but let's observe how we will monitor the logs in the real time. Let me go to my AWS account. I will create one Linux machine in the AWS. I will upload my log file to the AWS. I will show you how can we connect to that log file. Okay. Now sign in into this console. I will log in into my AWS account. Yeah, I logged in into my AWS account. In this AWS account, I'm going to create one Linux machine. Okay, now observe how I'm going to create this. Instances, launch instance. I will go for Amazon Linux. Here, I'm going to give the name as log server. I'm giving the name as a log server. Amazon Linux AMI, T2 micro, key pair name required. Okay, without that, let me try existing security group and click on launch instance. Key pair is mandatory. Now let me create a new key pair. The key pair I'm using as ppk file. I'm giving the key pair as JRTP key pair. JRTP key pair ppk file I'm using. When I create the key pair, my key pair is downloaded. That is a ppk file. Now with this, I can create my Linux machine. My Linux machine is started. My Linux machine is started. This is my log server. So you can see the status of the Linux machine. The Linux machine status is still pending. The machine is creating. Once this machine is created, I want to connect with the machine. They will give IP address of the machine. We know IP address 65.2.80.43. This is the IP address of my Linux machine. What is the status of this machine now? The machine status is running. Now let me download Putty. I need Putty. Go here, download Putty. Download Putty for Windows. Okay. Now let me click on download. Yeah. Putty software. I want to download. कहाँ गया? Yeah. Putty is downloaded. Let me go to this putty. Let me install the putty. Click on next. Click on next. Install. Yes, I'm installing my putty software. Finish. My putty got installed in my machine. What is putty? It is one software, CLI based software. It is used to connect from Windows computer to Linux computer. Now open putty software. Putty is open. It is asking host name. What is the host name? Host name is nothing but IP address of my machine. Linux machine will run on the port number 22. Okay. What is this putty? Now, okay, let's go to SSH. There is a authentication, auth, credentials. Sorry. When I select the auth, SSH, authentication, it should give me option to upload the key pair. Session, go for SSH connection, go for authentication, library path, not this. Browse. Whatever the key file is downloaded, I will give the PPK file and click on open. Click on accept. It is asking what is my username. My username is EC2-user. So with this, I connected to my putty software. Okay guys, in this putty software, I will create one file app.log. Okay, in this file, whatever the log data is available, I will keep that log data. Copy this data and keep that data in the log file. Fine. With this, if you see ls-l, my log file is available. Can you guys see my log file now? App.log is available. In that log file, my application is storing the messages. Assume that currently it is not storing. So tomorrow in the future, whenever you are working in the project, they will give you credentials like this. With these credentials, you need to connect to your log server by using putty. In the putty, I'm executing ls-l. When I execute a command ls-l, it is showing me there is a log file. Now I want to see the data from the log file. To see the data from the log file, tail app.log. When I execute tail app.log, what is happening? It is going to give me the log messages of my application. In .ashok IT.rest.message controller, this is warning message. Exception occurred. Welcome message ended. Like this, I am getting my log messages. Which command I am using? Tail command. What is the meaning of tail? Tail command will give you the data from bottom to top. Now, where the log messages will be appended to the file, in the top or in the bottom? The messages will keep on adding at the bottom of the file. Always we need to read the log file from the bottom. To read the log file from the bottom, we will go for tail command. So now, as a developer, we should know Linux, or Linux is not required? Linux is required. Why that Linux is required? In the real time, our servers will run in the Linux machine. Our log files will be created in the Linux machine. Now your manager will tell you, connect to the log server, check the log messages. What is the problem? You should know how to connect from Windows machine to Linux machine. You should know the Linux commands. You should be able to see the log file by using your Linux command. And there is a command called cat command is available. There is a command called cat command is available. Cat space file name. When I execute cat space file name, it will give me my log file data. I'm getting the log file data from top to bottom. If you want to get only first 10 lines of the log file, top 10 lines, I will go for head space app.log. First 10 lines it is going to provide me, starting my application. If you want to read from top to bottom, head command. If you want to read from bottom to top, tail command. Are you guys clear with my point? I want to understand where exception occurred in my project. I want to understand where is the exception in my project. For that, I will go for grep command exception, grep command exception app.log. See, only exception messages are coming. My log file contains lot of data, but I want to see the log messages which contain exception keyword. How I am getting only exception keyword messages? By using which command? Grep command. Grep exception space app.log. In my log file, 1000 lines available, but out of the 1000 line, 3 lines are having the exception. Only those 3 lines I am getting from the log file by using grep command. Are you guys clear? Able to understand how the log file will be monitored? Log files will be available in the Linux machine. How I am connecting from Windows machine to Linux machine? By using putty. By using putty. Good. Now, when I am going for this log monitoring, guys, after connecting to the log server, I am executing some putty commands. Okay. Now, putty. What is the purpose of a putty? It is used to connect from Windows machine to Linux machine. It is used to connect from Windows machine to Linux machine. To connect to the Linux machine, we need machine details. We need machine details. IP address of the machine, username of the machine, and password of the machine. Who will provide these details? Who will provide these details? DevOps team will provide these details. Now, IP address, assume that 192.168.1.2. That is my machine IP address, assume that. And the username will be available, which is a log user. And password will be available, log@123. They will share these credentials to all the developers. Whenever you want, you can connect it to the log server. You can check the logs of the application. Okay. Putty is a CLI based software. Putty is a CLI based software. Putty is a CLI based software. It is used to connect from Windows machine to Linux machine. To connect to the Linux machine, we need machine details. What details we need? IP address of the machine, username of the machine, password of the machine. Now, putty commands. What are the putty commands I have executed? What are the putty commands I have executed? I have executed a command called cat space file name, which is used to get file data from top to bottom. Okay. Now, I can use a command called head space file name to get first 10 lines of file. To get the first 10 lines of the file, I am going for head file name. I want to get the last 10 lines of the file. To get last 10 lines of the file, I am going for tail command. I want to search for some keyword in the file. For that, I am using a command called grep command, single quote, exception, then file name. Then what will happen? It will print the lines. It will print the lines which contains exception keyword. Which line contain the exception keyword? I want to get only that line. To get only that line, I'm going for grep command. I'm going for grep command. Are you guys clear? So with this, what you understood? With this, what you understood? To survive in the company, Linux is also mandatory. Developer should know Windows as well as Linux also. Got it? Last thing, I think 6 months back, I conducted one free batch for the Linux. Several people did not attend that. We are developers now. Why we need the Linux? Project batch people. After joining in the company, after 2 months, they messaged me, sir, please share your Linux material. We are not able to monitor the log files in the project because we need to connect with the Linux computer to check our server detail. We need to check the log message details. Got my point? So Linux is also very, very, very important. Good. So we are going to cover at the end of the course how to communicate with the AWS cloud, how to create the Linux machine. I will not teach you complete Linux. Whatever Linux is required for the developer, that we are going to understand in the JRTP. Got it? Yes, fine. So with this we understood what is log monitoring and what is putty. What is putty? Putty is a CLI based software. It is used to connect from Windows to Linux machine. To connect Linux machine, we need the machine detail. There are some putty commands available. Now here, there is another software available which is called WinSCP. What is that? WinSCP. WinSCP is a GUI based software. By using WinSCP, we can upload files from Windows to Linux, Linux to Windows. I want to download my file. I want to download the log file. Where is that log file available? In the Linux computer. I want to download the log file from the Linux computer to my Windows computer. For that, which software we can use? WinSCP software we can use. Able to follow me? Yes. Next one. What is the purpose of Splunk? What is the purpose of Splunk? GUI based. Now, if I show WinSCP and putty now, you may not understand. The reason you don't know Linux. Are you guys clear? At the end of the course, we will understand the Linux. At that time, we will discuss about WinSCP and putty also. Just I don't want to skip the topic. That's why I have given you an overview. What is log monitoring? How we will monitor the logs. If I spend another one day also, you will not get the clarity. The reason you don't know Linux now. If you know the Linux, then only you will understand what commands I am executing. Are you clear? So once our project is developed, we will monitor the project log file by connecting with the putty server. At that time, we will understand. Now, basic Splunk also I want to show you. Splunk is a commercial software and Splunk is very advanced software for the log monitoring. I can't use the Splunk in my computer now. I don't have a license. But I can show you the demo on the Splunk. What I have done is, when I am working in the Deloitte company, when I am connecting to the Splunk server, I recorded a video I uploaded in the YouTube. I will play that video now. You can see how I am connected to the Splunk and how I am monitoring the logs by using Splunk. I think I have done that 4 years back, not now. Let me show you that. How I am using Splunk. Let me go for log monitoring. Okay. Yes. Yeah. There is a video. Logs monitoring. How we will monitor 4 years back exactly. Exactly 4 years back I have uploaded this video. How log monitoring will happen in the real time. Let me go to this video. Video you will see, voice I will give now. Okay. Right. Now let me go to this video. Here I am downloading one software called WinSCP software. In that video you see here, अरे भाई ये स्केलर का यार्ड्स बहुत आता है यार, पता नहीं क्या पढ़ाते हैं लोग. Yes, now see here guys, I downloaded my WinSCP software. In that WinSCP software, I'm giving Linux machine details. I'm connecting to my Linux machine. Observe. I'm entering the host name. Host name is nothing but IP address of the computer, my log server. Host name, username, and password. My DevOps team will give me the log server IP, log server username, log server password. Just observe. Just it is a 10 minutes video, guys. I will give voice now. Video you see there. Yeah. Yes, right. See here. They have given me the details. Splunk credentials are available and as well as log server credentials also available. What are the log credentials they have given? Host name. What is the meaning of host name? IP address. Username, password, path. In that Linux machine where my log file is available, they have given the path also. And at the same time, I have my Splunk credentials also. The Splunk server purchased by, that Splunk software purchased by my company. In that Splunk, they created an account for me. By using the credentials, I will connect it to the Splunk. I will monitor the logs. Observe. Just see that. host name, username, password, and path of the log file. Now with this, I will go to put WinSCP. Yeah. 1 minute. Yes. So in this WinSCP, see here what I am entering there. Host name I have entered, username I am entering, password also I am entering. This is WinSCP. Putty is a CLI based software. WinSCP is a GUI based software. I am connecting from my Windows to Linux machine. Connected. After connected, my window is split into two parts. So if you see that this left side part is my personal computer, right side part is Linux computer. Got my point? I'm connecting from my Windows machine to Linux machine. Right side, here for me, right, left side, my Windows, right side, Linux is available. Now, check this. I'm going to the log user machine. In that, my log files are available. These all are the folders in the Linux machine. Now, that is the path. Production logs are available. PRDP, prod logs are available. I will go to that folder. In that folder, my project name IES, OPA logs are available. In that, virtual machine is there and log files are available. In my project, those many log files are available. Now, I will download the log file from the Linux machine to Windows machine, just drag and drop. So that file will be downloaded. Now, I will go to my machine. In that machine, one folder I have selected. I will just select the file, drag and drop. That's it. That file will be downloaded from Linux to Windows. In 2018, I have recorded that video 5 years back almost. Yeah, I'm downloading a file. Observe. Business.log is there. Correspondence.log is available. Just drag and drop. That's it. Downloading. Online students, are you able to see that? Yeah, good. And now you see the log file is downloaded from Linux machine to my Windows machine. That is the log file. Info, date, time, message available. Yeah, that is the content of the log file. Okay, fine. With this we understood what is Putty, what is WinSCP. What is the difference between Putty and WinSCP? Putty is a CLI based software. WinSCP is a GUI based software. Now, let us see how I will go for Splunk. Now, they will give the URL of the Splunk software. Now, that is my project Splunk URL. I cannot access that now. They removed access for me. I left that company. They removed my access. At that time, I can access that URL. So, splunk.ribridges.ri.gov. I developed a project for Rhode Island state in the US. That is a state government project. For that project, Splunk we have used. Right. Now, see here. I'm opening my Splunk software. It will ask username and password. I got the credentials of the Splunk also. I'm opening my Splunk. That is only for log monitoring. Right. Take the username and password. Advertisements are disturbing us. Yes. Yeah. This is my Splunk software. I logged in into my Splunk software. This is GUI based software to monitor log files of our application. Now observe. Search and reporting. I'm searching for the logs. That is the query for the Splunk. Which log file I want to monitor? I'm giving the log file name. The log file name is correspondence_null.log. Here we have a search option to query the logs. Let me give that query and I'm giving the number, some text to search that message. Then I will give search. I will enter that text. I will click on 30-minute window. So now if you see here, today logs you can get, last 15 minutes logs, last 60 minutes log, last 4 hours, last 24 hours, last 1 week, last 1 month. Like that we can check the logs based on our requirement. Right. Yeah. Now see here, when I search that, I did not get any results. Still the search is in progress. You just observe that. Yes. Now can you see? For my search, I got the results. Those are the logs. When that log is generated, what is that log? What message available in the log file? I'm able to search it. These all are the log messages of our application. You can give the date range also. From which date to which date you want to select the logs. There is a date range option is also available in the Splunk. Yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you got the basic clarity how log monitoring is going to happen. No, we need to write that. Right. We need to write that. Fine. So with this, we understood what is logging, what is log monitoring, and what is PuTTY, what is WinSCP, and what is Splunk. Good. So anyhow, when we are going to develop the projects, we are going to use this logging and log monitoring. So what is WinSCP, guys? It is GUI based software to connect with the Linux machines. It is GUI based software. It is used to connect from Windows to Linux machines. It is used to connect from Windows to Linux machine. Using this WinSCP, we can upload and download files from Windows to Linux and vice versa. Whatever the file I have in the Windows, I can upload to Linux. Whatever the file available in the Linux, I can download that. We can do that. Next one, we are having another software called Splunk software. What is the Splunk? Yes, it is a commercial log monitoring software. It is commercial log monitoring software. It is commercial log monitoring software. It will give lot of advanced searching techniques to monitor logs of our application. 99% in the MNC company, Splunk will be available. They will purchase the license of that and they will use it to monitor the logs of the application. Similar to the Splunk, there is another software is available which is called ELK. Okay, ELK. In the ELK, we can see E stands for Elasticsearch, L stands for Logstash, K stands for Kibana. It is the combination of 3 products: Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. These 3 open source products, the above three open source products are used for log monitoring. Okay, how we have GUI in the Splunk. Similarly, we can get the GUI by using this ELK to monitor logs of our application. But ELK I'm not covering now. We will discuss that in the future, because once we get into the project development, then you will get more clarity on the logging. At that time, I will teach you ELK. Lot of setup we need to do for that. This is not the right time. Just to keep in the mind, ELK is available. ELK stands for Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana. What is the purpose of these 3? The above 3 open source products are used for log monitoring. In the future classes, we are going to do this ELK setup also. Got it? Yes, fine. Log monitoring. Log monitoring is one of the most important thing when we are working in the project. log levels, log architecture, log monitoring tools. So what is the meaning of log monitoring? What is the meaning of log monitoring? It is the process of reading the log messages of the application. It is the process of checking logs of application. Why we need to check the logs of the application? Why we need to check the logs of the application? To understand problems occurring in the project. Log monitoring is the process of checking logs of the application to understand problems occurring in the application. So we have several tools. To perform log monitoring. Okay. Now, first one, Putty and WinSCP, Splunk, ELK, and we have Splunk. Okay, fine, good. So we know what is Putty. What is Putty? Putty is a CLI based software. It is used to connect from Windows to Linux, right? We need the machine details, then only we can connect to Linux by using Putty. Now, as a alternate for the Putty, there is another tool called MobiExtram. By using MobiExtram also, we can connect from Windows machine to Linux machine. In the Linux classes, we will understand that. If you want to learn the Linux, I know you people are lazy, you will not do that, but still. Videos are available. I have uploaded Linux complete course. Whatever the Linux, total 11 videos I have uploaded on the Linux. In these 11 videos, I explain what is Linux, how to create account in the AWS cloud, how to connect to the Linux machine, all the Linux commands, shell scripting also I have explained. Okay. If you have time and interest, you can go through those videos. The Linux knowledge is very, very, very important, guys. Good. Putty we understood, WinSCP we understood, Splunk I'm not able to show you practically, but video is there. If you go through that video, you will get the clarity how I am connecting to the Splunk, how I am monitoring the logs of that. I will share that video in the group. Okay, good. What is ELK? Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana. These are three open source products used for log monitoring. In the upcoming classes, we are going to set up ELK also in our project. Good. Fine. So with this, we understood what is logging and what is log monitoring. So what are the tools we completed now? Maven mainly. Mainly we completed Maven, GitHub. Then we completed Bitbucket, Jira we completed, logging we completed, and log monitoring also we have completed. Sorry? Yeah, we can keep logging tools. I can say logback. Logback. Logback is a tool. By using the logback tool, we are performing the logging in our project. Right. What is the purpose of Maven? Maven is a build tool which is used to create the project and download the dependencies. What is GitHub? Version control software, and it is used to store the project source code. Bitbucket also for the same thing. What is Jira? Jira is a project management software, and it is also called as a bug reporting software. What is Logback? Logging framework. It is used to implement logging in our project. Logging is very, very important in the project to understand problems in the project. And what are the log monitoring tools? So we have seen basic of Putty and WinSCP and Splunk. ELK I will cover in the upcoming classes. Right. To get more clarity on the Splunk, just watch that video. It is just 10 minutes video. You will get the clarity. Okay. Fine. Good. Guys, all these tools are mandatory for freshers as well as for experienced people also. Tomorrow when you go for company, every day we need to work with Jira. Every day we need to work with GitHub. We need to work with Maven, and we need to work with logging. and we need to work with log monitoring. There is no tool which is optional for the freshers, either for fresher or for experience, 5 years, 10 years experience also. Every day we are going to work with these tools. Got it? Fine. Perfect. Any questions, anyone? JRTP overloading. Overloading means no problem. If it is overriding, then is the problem. Overloading must no problem. It has to overload.
Sir, what is CLI and GUI?
Sorry, sir.
What is CLI and GUI?
Sir, CLI means command line interface. This is the putty is a CLI software. GUI means graphical user interface. CLI means only command prompt will be available to execute the command. That's it. Here, if you see, putty is having only commands. You can't see any buttons to click. But in the WinSCP, buttons will be available to click. That is called GUI. Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello,
Hi.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, please give 2 days time for practice, sir. It's going over here, sir. JRTP batch.
Okay. Okay. Tomorrow, anyhow, Sunday, na? No class. We will meet on Monday.
Give Monday, sir, also.
Hi, sir.
Sorry. Yes, sir.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Sir, in apps or IntelliJ, if we don't write any logs, so exception will get print on the console. So is that
exception
same applicable?
will print on the console? Yeah.
Is that same
will print on
applicable
the
on?
console, but in the guys, please keep quiet. I'm not able to hear their questions. Online people asking some questions. Keep quiet. Let them ask. If you don't write the log file, the message will be printed on the console. Console will be there in the server, right? You will not get the server access in the real time. Got
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
Server
So
access
my
will not
question.
be given to you.
So my question is, sir, by default, any exception or any warning will not get right on the log files, right? We need to do the logger on the program, then only.
Keep everything, then only it will be stored to the log file. If you don't write, it will not be stored.
Okay.
You have to write this.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah,
actually,
hi, sir. Good morning.
Actually, I just want to ask you
Keep quiet, guys. Keep quiet. Yeah.
In your project, logback file is available. Is it same as a real-time project also? So
yes,
it
sir.
is a difference. So it is no need to change the source code within log file.
Do that.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
So, as you have said that we can monitor the logs using putty. So now can we monitor the logs using this test example program which you have given, because we don't have access to server now?
You can do that now. In the course, I will cover some cloud concepts and Linux basics. At that time, you can monitor. Right now, you can't do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Your screen is also, sir, very small, sir, daily.
Sure, I will increase the putty screen is small, the font is small. I will increase in the next. I mean, putty we don't use from
daily
tomorrow.
screen,
It's
sir,
not
is
required.
small. Zoom screen.
Sir, sorry to say, but sir, in yesterday class, many times your screen got invisible and your
yes,
even
sir.
voice are
Yesterday
not coming.
there is a problem with the power. Even I got disconnected from the laptop yesterday. That is yesterday power issue.
Once your voice gone, we are all checking our internet, whether internet is working or not.
No, yesterday it was problem for my side only.
Sir, yesterday's video is not uploaded.
Yes, sir.
We'll do that. We'll do that. They will do it.
Yes,
Okay.
good morning, sir.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Sir, will you cover design pattern?
Design pattern, some patterns will be explained, but not all the design patterns. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. In the class, whatever the students ask questions, please record that.
It is recording. It is recording.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you are working for a banking company. Can you tell me what
Sorry?
is the best? Sir, you are working for a banking company, right?
Yeah.
Sir, what is the best way to keep these logs in the file, and what much the duration will be to store all this?
Yeah, we'll discuss in the project. We will implement that, na? When we start our project development, we will implement that.
Okay, sir.
Hello,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir. Sir, how to write log messages into the server, Linux server?
How to write?
Log messages into a Linux server.
Like we don't write Linux server, sir. They will configure the path of the machine in which machine the log should be created. That will be taken care by DevOps team. Okay.
Okay,
Where
sir.
the file should be created, they will decide the path for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, are you going to explain all the annotation whatever you use in a project?
Are you? Can you come again?
Yes, sir. Are you going to explain all the annotation whenever we implement in our project?
Yes. Whatever we are going to discuss, that I will explain.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, fine, guys. Good. Thank you. Tomorrow we don't have class for the project. I want all of you to practice all the tools, whatever we covered so far. Only log monitoring you cannot practice because that environment is not available. Only the log monitoring part you can skip. But I recommended, I suggest you to go through that video which I have shown today so that you will get more clarity on that part. Whenever we go for ELK concept, then we can monitor the logs in our computer also. Lot of setup we need to do for the ELK. I will take a separate class for the ELK setup. The remaining tools, I want you people to practice it before coming to Monday class. Got it? So what is the Monday topic? Nothing in my mind as of now. Let me think and I will get back to you on Monday. So either I need to go for any other tool or I need to start the project I'm looking for. To start the project, we need to have some idea on the Spring WebMVC module. WebMVC not started yet, so I'm thinking on that part. Okay, so fine. Please practice all the tools. We'll meet in the evening Spring Boot class. Thank you, guys. The YouTube link I will share in the WhatsApp group, Sushant. Okay, good. Thank you, guys.